Good morning. I, Charmi Akshita, along with Singampalli Giridhar, Pavani Padma, and Tatavarti Raghu, will be presenting about hypervisor usage and integration of cloud computing for sky computing. Coming to the contents of the topic, we'll be discussing about introduction, what is a hypervisor, and history of hypervisor, and advantages, disadvantages of hypervisor, along with cloud computing, its service models, and how evolution of hypervisor is included in cloud computing, and how high performance computing works with cloud computing. With all this knowledge, we'll be going to proceed to sky computing. And about sky computing, we would be seeing about origin of sky computing, how sky computing has evolved, and present trends of sky computing, what are its real world uses, its integration, and what is the need for integration, and what is its structure and challenges. So, starting with the introduction part, uh, we would have heard the term called virtualization. When I say virtualization, most of us think deploying the hardware systems virtually. So, this concept of virtualization and cloud computing has transformed the IT structure in a very dynamic way, in a very robust way. It has transferred. What are the advantages of transferring into virtualization or cloud computing? If someone asks, I would say uh, it is very easy to share resources and scale resources with virtualization. And the next part to this virtualization would be sky computing. When I say sky computing is nothing but integrating of multiple cloud environments to create one even more flexible and resilient cost-effective solution. So, we would be discussing about three major topics, that is virtualization, cloud computing, and sky computing. Starting with virtualization. So, virtualization deals with how a single server can host multiple virtual machines, that is VMs. And coming to the cloud computing, we will explore the shift from on-premises to on-demand IT source delivery over the internet. And coming to sky computing, the concept which I call as cloud of clouds will be discussed. Okay, let us first see what a hypervisor is. So, hypervisor is also called as virtual machine or VMM. It is a software, and sometimes, in a very rare cases, it can also be hardware. So, what does this hypervisor or VMM do is, so let us assume a single physical computer. With the use of the single physical computer, it runs multiple virtual machines all at once. So this each virtual machine acts as a separate computer with its own operating system and applications. Though all of them are relying on the single physical computer. Now, why do we need a hypervisor? Let us know this by seeing its key functions. Hypervisor manages and allocates CPU, memory, storage, and network resources. It also ensures isolation between virtual machines, preventing interface. Allows dynamic scaling of resources for each VM. Now, this hypervisor can be segregated into two types. That is, type 1 hypervisor and type 2 hypervisor. Type 1 hypervisor is also called as bare metal hypervisor. So, as you can see in the diagram, this is the diagram of type 1 hypervisor, and this is the diagram of type 2 hypervisor. So, type 1 hypervisor runs directly on the host hardware, that is the system hardware, and then providing high performance and security. So, examples of this type 1 hypervisor is VMware, ESXi, Microsoft Hyper-V. And type 2 hypervisor is called as hosted hypervisor. This runs on top of conventional operating system, like a regular application. And examples of this hosted is VirtualBox, VMware Workstation. Now, The main difference between this type 1 hypervisor and type 2 hypervisor is type 1 hypervisor do not have an operating system on top of hardware, but whereas type 2 has it. This is the main difference between the two hypervisors. Can we go to the next slide? Yeah. So coming to the history of hypervisor, the concept of hypervisor has been from 1960s. So it has come from IBM virtualization technologies for its mainframe computers. And during 1970 and 1980s, IBM's VM370 has been popularized, and research has been started on the further development of virtualization. And in 1990s, we have seen a decline of its use of personal computers, but virtualization re-emerged as a key technologies. It's like a fall and growth. And in 2000s, the modern hypervisors like VMware and Hyper-V, as we discussed previously, has become backbone for cloud computing platforms. So from mainframe computers, it has evolved to cloud computers. By 2010, hypervisor evolved to integrate container technologies such as Docker and Kubernetes, supporting hybrid cloud and high-performance computing workloads. Today, hypervisors are lightweight, secure, and capable of GPU virtualization. All these features make it crucial to play a role in cloud environments and sky computing. Okay. Now that we have discussed about hypervisor, let us see the few advantages and disadvantages of hypervisor. So, the first one is hypervisor has efficient hardware utilization. Why do I say it has efficient hardware utilization is that one single hardware can run multiple virtual machines. That is what we call hardware utilization. We are not using more than one hardware here. So this is why I say it is efficient for hardware utilization, and it is platform independent. As we are able to run virtual machines on it, it is independent of the platform, and it is also cost efficient to run of a hypervisor. And it is disaster recovery and snapshots. It is always ready to manage in disasters, and it is also enhanced with security. Now, when I say disadvantages of hypervisor, it is always, I do not say it always, but it has performance overhead, and the setup can be complex, and the resource contention between VMs can also be a disadvantage. And also, when I say platform independence as an advantage, it also has a disadvantage with the underlying hardware, that the single system. And troubleshooting can be difficult in hypervisor. Now that we have discussed about hypervisor, let us see what cloud computing is. Now, we would have already heard cloud computing is an on-demand service. We store data or applications in the form of cloud. So let us see what cloud computing is first. Cloud computing is an on-demand delivery of IT services and applications. And how does it deliver the applications? Is with the help of internet. So what I say, cloud delivers applications with the help of internet. Now, with the pay-as-you-go model, it is an advantage because you do not need to pay money entirely. You can pay according to what you're using. So, why do we need cloud computing? We need cloud computing because it is very hectic to maintain your own infrastructure. So, instead of owning and maintaining computer infrastructure,